Bong 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 bong. Ow! Bloody hell, that's hot. Today I have mostly been stripping. This is so satisfying. Well, folks, man versus house. I'm obviously in pensive mode today because I've been philosophically thinking about this house. I love it. I really do love this house. It's crazy. It's broken, as you've probably seen if you've seen any of the other videos. If you haven't, why not? But just look at that wallpaper. See, the first thing I did when we got into this house was, we noticed that there was like wood chip paper, and that that's a bad sign because wood chip paper is very strong, and it's basically there to hold the wall up, which in some cases, I don't know if you can, I'll do that later. So I knew that had to come off because you could feel where the wall was falling apart underneath the paper. In fact, I'll just give you a quick go. So now, kind of looks a bit like that, once you got the paper off and the top coat of weird plaster comes off. That's my phone beeping, I don't care. Just don't care. But looking at this wallpaper, you kind of, there were about 3 or 4 layers of destroyed wallpaper really that was peeling off, and it was like going back through time. I'll show you in a minute. I'll try and sort of do that in a bit. Probably, well, there was the wood chip, and under that was sort of like maybe something from the 80s, and then maybe the 50s, and maybe the 30s, and then you get back to this stuff, which is the original Victorian wallpaper. Now, I'm not quite sure why. The wallpaper at this time is very thin, it's very fragile. So what the Victorians did, I believe, is varnish over the paper to protect it. But of course, over the years, as under the other papers that were successively put on top, it's obviously discoloured hugely. Now I should be taking it off, like I took the other stuff off. You can see, it's like came off of its own accord with the other stuff. But there's something really sad about taking it off. I know I have to. But I don't know, it's just, if and when I take it off, no one will ever see it again. It's a bit like up in the bathroom when I was doing the thing about the laths and that no one had seen them for 100 years. No one had seen this for 80, 90 years or something, I don't know. And if I take it off, it's gone forever. I think I don't know what to do. Oh dear. So here's a selection of the papers that we found. Obviously it's very difficult to date them. They could be from any time, but that one was in one of the bedrooms and was the final layer of paper. So I'm assuming, it being the first paper put on, that it could well be Victorian. They did do these amazing sort of like geometric-y shapes or whatever. And then there was, on top of that, there was some of this. So assuming that was, let's say that's Victorian, then what's that? What would this be? Maybe the I don't know, it looks a bit 50s, 60s, but then that could be... I used to have some pyjamas like that in the 1970s, so who knows? What I do know, or what I think I do know, I'll get this piece over here, is this sort of a bit of paper that's been painted over at some point onto this pink and white design paper, and I think that, I'm not entirely sure, but I think that is hand painted, which original papers were, which is why it was so expensive. So when you get to something like this, no wonder if wallpaper is very expensive that you'd want to protect it with the glaze. And I have one fragment of paper that was protected under something else, which would show you more of the colour that than it would have been. Actually, I'm trying to see if I can match it up somehow. There's a thorny thing and a droopy thing. Sounds like me in the mornings. I'll have a look for that, might come back to you. I think I may have found it. I don't know if this is going to work as a demonstration. Right, here we have a droopy thing and a thorny thing. Droopy thing, thorny thing. I'm going to see if I can drop that in. Is that sort of it-ish? So it would have been a lot brighter, wouldn't it? Okay, go with me on this. Okay, I just did have. Ooh, I don't know what that was. An idea, which may assuage my guilt about the wallpaper. Cut two. This might not be the right spot for it, but depending on how clean an area or how good an area I can find of the Victorian wallpaper, how about this? Just frame some of it. And so when the next paper goes on, or the next paint, or if I stripped it off, you'll still have a bit of it left. It'll be odd, but I don't care. I think that could be quite interesting. I think I'd be pleased with that. To be honest, I think that huge frame was too big, but I thought I'd go Victorian Gothic. On the other hand, I was told this might frighten the children. So I'll have a look around for something else. Well, Indoors vetoed the Victorian Gothic, which, overall I think she's probably right. I don't want to scare the pants off the children, really. Hilarious as that would be. So we found these two oval frames, and they are now stuck to the wall with glue, basically. And I've sort of taped them up and put a bit of paper in them and to protect them, keep them on the wall until the plasterer is finished plastering round them. And then we'll see what that looks like. Probably very odd. I don't know. Well, they've now been plastered round. I know these videos leap about a bit, but that's kind of what they look like. And I don't mind that. And there's just one of them with the family ghost.